Right, we're live. Yep, we're live.
Wonderful. Welcome everyone to the Corporation of the Township of Bonnechere Valley Special Council meeting on Friday, June 20th, 2025. It's 10:27 a.m. and I'm calling this meeting to order. Is there any pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? I see none. So our new and unfinished business for this meeting is the consideration of options for recycling transition and the purchase of a garbage truck, which Annette and Jason sent us yesterday with a lot of information. So who do you want me to throw it to? Annette, you or Jay?
Do you want me to start with the recycling transition?
Sure.
All right. So I think we've talked about it a few times at council, but at the end of the day, we have to fully transition by January 2026. There's rules around that, such as not having equipment that's more than 12 years old. Miller's Waste is the company that has gotten the contract for this area and a few others through the province. So they are the ones that will be contracting with, I think it's RGL, but RGL represented, they're an agency of the province and CMO. And so in our discussions with Miller's, our three options for recycling transition are either subcontract from Miller's to the township. So we would sign a 7-year agreement with Miller's. Miller's has a 7-year agreement signed with the province. However, if we sign that agreement, we'd have to purchase a new truck, and that would increase our costs by about $913 a year. If Miller's Waste does the collection for the recycling, then we would not be receiving any revenue for that recycling collection, and we would only be doing ineligibles. We wouldn't be doing the eligibles, which are the residential spots. And Miller's would be paid by the province to do that, and we would not be receiving any revenue. So that'd be, an increase, or it's not really an increase in cost. It's a decrease in revenue of about $4,833. But then we're also maintaining an older truck, which is costing us about $23,000 last year, and 7 and 4 breakdowns this year. So it could be, a $30,000 increase. And then when we finally do need a new truck, I'm assuming we've been talking about it since 2020. If we do need it by 2027, when the truck's 20 years old, because we have had a lot of breakdowns, that's going to be an increase of about $54,000. So right now, if we continue to do the recycling, we get money for that, which could be used to pay for the new truck, and the new truck would support both waste and recycling. Or we could get out of it completely, because we have had, as many municipalities have, HR issues finding the right people for both waste, public works, whatever you're looking for. So if we're not interested in being a subcontractor and getting funding to pay for the truck to support waste and recycling, then maybe we want to think about, is this even a service that we want to be involved in anymore? But of course that does, because we lose the revenue, that does come with, about a $48,000 less revenue coming in to support our waste and recycling. And of course, then we wouldn't be supplying jobs locally, they would be supplied through Miller's. And then we also wouldn't have control over the system. So if there's complaints or concerns, it would be a 1-800 number as opposed to a call for us. So really, the first sort of discussion is I think at this stage, Jason and I know Jason can fill in what else he wants to add to that, are thinking that we will continue to offer the service, control the service, if we're still in it with both waste and recycling, then that it doesn't make sense for us. If we're going to stick in it for waste, we should stick in it for recycling, for the collections. We're still looking at the depots, and we'll discuss that a little later. It's not as urgent because there's not a capital purchase required.
Right.
Did I miss anything, Jason?
Okay, so before I open it up to council for questions, Jason, did you want to add anything?
So right now, we do have our subcontractor still collecting at our sites. Their truck is good for 3 more years under the year of the truck vehicle for Millers.
Right?
So, you know, at that time, then we'll have to discuss either another contractor or go through Millers at that time.
But that's for the depots, not for.
That's
collection.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Council, do you have any questions, comments, concerns? All right, well, I think that the recommendation that you gave us is the right recommendation. Did you want me to read it, Annette?
Yeah, sure, yeah, you can, or I can, yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so if we're going with option one, then the recommendation would be, because we have quotes for new trucks, we have quotes for older trucks, and I know that council had questions about front load or rear load. The front load, is not able to make it through certain areas in town. It also would, require a change of our bins, and so yeah, it comes with a lot of extra costs. So I think Jason's found a used one. And at this point, we're not looking for an approval of the purchase. We're looking for an approval of direction to staff to go negotiate, have a look at it. And if it is good, then Jason's to negotiate. Then it would move to a purchase, whether we have to put a deposit on it or, you know, a lease it or something to get it reserved for us. And then we'll come back with an official purchase recommendation at the July meeting. Is that correct, Jason, or? Okay.
Okay, so
How
the
old
sticker
is this used truck?
2024,
2024?
31,000 something kilometers.
Okay, it's just like new.
It was on a lease,
Okay.
but
Okay.
there are more around. It's just, this one just kind of popped up. It was probably one that just came off a lease.
So what you're saying with this, you can collect household garbage
Yeah.
around Eganville and you can move the big. What do you call them?
The bins?
Bins?
No.
No,
No,
just collection. We're
Just
not doing with the depot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
So with the front load, Merv, you would have to have the arms down.
Yeah.
And then a bin out front
Yeah,
to collect.
yeah.
So you'd have to drive around town with that, but then you're only able to carry one helper with
Yeah.
the driver.
Yeah.
yeah,
So the one you're talking about is backload like we have now?
That's right,
Okay.
yes.
the other challenge was the sticker shock of the 650 and the 96,000 for the bins. That's where I kind of lost the thread.
I didn't realize this was on the internet. I finished the internet yesterday noon. I didn't you sent that yesterday afternoon? Yeah.
yeah, so just so you're aware, the front load truck would be 650,000.
Yeah.
The used backload that we're looking for is 258,000.
Yeah, a
So
little-
that's a big difference.
A little different.
And then the bins would be about 96, yeah, so it's.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to not increase costs for waste and recycling over the $913 for the residents going forward for the next 7 years.
Yeah.
You know, that's at the end of the day, that's where this recommendation has come from. Yeah.
Well, and that was going to be my next question is, and I won't even bother asking it now, but what does it mean for our residents if we purchase God forbid, you know, at this point, you know, $750,000 worth of new equipment, and I don't even want the numbers, so don't worry about it. So the direction you need that I'll get a mover and seconder on that recommendation.
Yeah.
Moved by John, seconded by Merv. Any further discussion?
Is there any value in selling our old garbage truck?
There would be definitely something there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other municipalities that would be better in the same boat as us. If they're not going to have Miller do the collection, they're still gonna be
Yeah.
doing their own, or I can talk to the company and see if they're into purchasing a used truck.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what, it'll be surplused, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need 2 garbage trucks. We're
Yeah,
not looking
no,
for the
no,
backup.
and- It's caused too many problems, apparently.
So yeah, we're looking for direction to staff to further investigate and negotiate and take such actions as necessary, such as a deposit or a lease until the purchase of the used 2024 Freightliner from Joe Johnson Equipment for an upset limit of $258,500 plus tax can be approved. And we will report back to council at the July 15th meeting, because it will be a sole source purchase, although we do have the other quotes for new, but you know, you're not comparing like for like, so it would be a sole source purchase under the procurement bylaw. So we're just looking to give Jason the authority to go in to kind of say, yeah, Brent, yes, we're interested.
I know, well, he texted me that he was coming in and I said, okay, but we're mostly done.
That's all right. I made it. So what is the update?
So we just finished going through the report. We have, moved and seconded the recommendation, to direct Jason to go, because we still have to go and look at the truck. We want to negotiate whether we have to do a deposit or a lease, whatever we can do to put it on hold and bring back the actual resolution for the purchase to council July 15th. So, we went through, the report, which I know you've read, so I don't know if you have further questions before, we decide whether that recommendation is supported or not.
No, and I did, and as I texted yesterday, and I did appreciate like the formal report and everything, same as laying out the options. So I have like today, I have no issues with like option number one. My biggest thing is just obviously moving forward. So like I know you had listed like the 3 residences. That's probably because we go on the private property.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, but those would be the only ones that you would have the issues with currently, because you also go on Fairfield would be the other one. Is there other ones, or is that it?
So this public school is very tight,
Okay,
and depending on how I don't know what their new configuration is gonna be for their parking, once they get the new front design. That could be an issue. Parking is always an issue up there, during school. And with a bigger truck, it's gonna be harder to get into these spots. Just because you're gonna have to drive in, but there's no place to turn, so you have to back out. And depending on if we stay with the option of the rear load, it's not a problem because the truck is gonna be the same size. But if you go to a front load, it's gonna be, instead of a 25 cubic yard, it's a 40 cubic yard.
and also knowing, I'm just thinking for residents as well, knowing Millers and other areas they service as well, they won't actually go on private property. I'm aware of that as well. So that's the thing, is the one benefit of us doing it is a lot of the things we've been existing doing. Okay. And then my only other comment for this was just, I would like to review, because this is a 7-year contract, obviously. So I would like to review again on seeing, especially for Ruby, like Snowdrift is gonna be done by the time this contract is done. So I just want to make sure that we're utilizing Ruby to the best efficiency we can. And that was my whole point of, we really need to look at the front load. So we have to change some of the service contracts with some of the private users. Then it's something that we can look at as well. No different than say some of the other buildings in town are serviced through private, because it's more efficient, because in case we don't come on their property or there's not enough room. So that was the only thing. I just want to make sure we're being most efficient with our resources. And we have 7 years to plan for that as well. And be it this is the one we're going to carry on, I'm fine with that. So.
Okay. Yeah, and then the depots, we will bring a report back, because that doesn't at this point require any capital purchases. It's not as critical. But yeah, we will have a fulsome discussion on whether we are going to subcontract that or we'll have a fulsome discussion on the transfer stations as well, the depots. And then, and then we'll transition and, and that doesn't stop us from continuing to look at it and,
Awesome. Okay, anything further? All in favor? Thank you, council. I have a resolution dated this 20th day of June, 2025. Oh, Annette, did you want to do your FYI?
Oh, yes. So not part of the special meeting, just an FYI, which I can say here, or I could say after, or I could have said before the meeting, but I might as well do it right now because we've got John and Jennifer on Zoom. Just to let you know that part of the swim program this year, the swim program is running from Monday to Thursday. So on Fridays, what we're going to have is a little bit of at Rotary Beach, not at sorry, where is the one at, Norfolk One Wilberforce?
Lake Dory.
Lake Dory.
Lake Dory, thank you. Instead of there, at Rotary Beach, we're gonna have a little bit of, makeup for kids that are, that are struggling in some of the lessons. They'll be able to come in on Friday and have a little bit more time with Jenna and Effie Rose. And also, we'd like to have a couple of adult senior fits, drop-ins, $5 per person, come on out to Rotary Beach, and the two of them, because the Fridays were open. And Norfolk One Wilberforce is going to pay Effie Rose, we're paying Jenna, we got a grant for that through the feds. And so we'll split the revenue, and the two of them will run some programming, and we'll see if that's something that people are interested in. If it's unsuccessful, then we may not ever do it again. But adult and senior swim, we've had a couple of requests for it, not a lot, but a couple. So if you have a couple people, there's maybe more out there who are interested in getting into the water on Fridays over the summer for 8 weeks. So we'll be talking to the senior center and advertising that next week, because it'll start July 4th and go to August 22nd. So we have the insurance and all that for the swim, and the two of them have their bronze medallion. So we've got two really good instructors right there. And it's just a fun, aquafit. It's not.
No, it's a
Yeah.
great idea. Anything to do with water and exercise is
Yeah.
generally a good game plan. So I know my kids are registered for the August
Oh.
swim program, so they're really looking forward to it. So
Great.
no, I think we should, and we've said that at the table for a long time, continue to support swimming in the area and fitness. So that's great.
Okay, so I just an information item.
Thank you. All right, so I have a resolution dated this 20th day of June, 2025, that bylaw 2025-034, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council, be read a first time, be deemed read a second time, be deemed read a third time, and passed. May I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Brent, seconded by John. All in favor? And I have a resolution dated this 20th day of June, 2025, that the special council meeting be adjourned at 10:44 a.m. May I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Merv, seconded by Brent. All in favor? And we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, Brent. It's
Yes,
because
Mayor Murphy.
that bin says cardboard only.
Oh, yes, we requested it several times to have it separate. So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, makes sense.